Hi, my name is Darren from HJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we want to approach it a bit differently. Rather than just get into a really deep technical discussion about some tax topics, I want to recognize that the tax tail doesn't necessarily wag the dog. And we have the honor and the privilege of having a conversation with David. And David has a lot of expertise with working with business owners who are doing things internationally. David, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is David Deaton. I'm a co-founder with my colleague Ann Thompson, and we have started MindSalt 8 more years ago. Over the last 30 years, I've been working with organizations on the research and decision making and strategy within a variety of different contexts and sizes. So both internationally, for which I have some experience in, but then also in just a variety of sizes of organizations as well. $3 billion revenue organizations down to our local businesses, for which we have a lot of passion and heart for.
Okay, fantastic. The next point or the next question I want to pick your brain on is, what is your experiences working internationally? I know you were in Hong Kong roughly the same time that I was entering
Yep.
Singapore. So how do you, I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of turmoil, and then layer on top of that, the dynamics of working across multiple time zones, multiple cultures. What are your comments and thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I'll comment and about the international dimension, both from sort of a living and abroad, which I did for 4 years in Hong Kong and absolutely loved it, but also just working in many different countries. So I think I've done work in most every continent except for Antarctica, and that's been great to have this sort of work exposure across all those different countries and all those different types of peoples and cultures. So first of all, I think that just being international, I love it. So my heart will always be sort of in two cities, if you will, where I lived in Hong Kong and where I live now in the Central Virginia area. So when I was there, I miss here, and when I'm here, I miss there. And I think as I think about the next places that I'm going to live, we were talking earlier a little bit about the Caribbean. I'm going to love it there, and I'm going to miss the places that I'm not. And so I think that's just the nature of it. But I absolutely enjoy the opportunity to be in an international environment because it's just a whole new mix of peoples and cultures. And so
Mm,
what I learned, and I think other people may too, is that there's so many differences between these cultures, and then yet we find how common everything is as well. And I think that's just a wonderful sort of world perspective to have, is no matter where I was, and no matter where I lived, I found that it was so different from what I expected, and yet we were parents. We had children. We had fun. We had activities. We had professions and impact that we wanted to be able to make. And so some of these things that realizing it felt so different at the same time, when we looked at back at it, we realized how similar and common that we were. And I think that was really a great learning point for me, is that recognition that there's this weird sort of dichotomy, this weird sort of ironic mix between differences and similarities all at the same time. So I really had the pleasure when I was working internationally to just travel and do work internationally. And
mm,
part of that work was conducting research to meet people and understand what was going on into their local economy so that we could actually figure out a strategy that would be more successful in that area. And that just was, literally it was a coffee shop or a hotel lobby or wherever their office, wherever they would meet. And it was finding the stakeholders that had these key perspectives and taking time to sit down with them and really learning what they had to share. And to be able to do that in Europe and Africa and Latin America and all throughout almost every country in Asia when I was there, it really is sort of eye-opening to just sit down, take pause, and really learn from other people that are there about the different perspectives that they have about both their work and just life in general.
yeah, I like it. Keeping an open mind and always being prepared to learn. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So, David, if someone wanted to reach out to you and to find out more about you and your team and perhaps engage your services, what's the best way to do that? How can they best find you?
Yeah, wonderful. Both through our website and LinkedIn. So the website would be themindsalt.com. I'm happy to reach out. You can actually set up a meeting straight from the website as well. Or LinkedIn, just find my name, David Deaton, with the organization, The Mind Salt. We have a company page, I have my personal page, and respond to messages and really look forward to people making that connection and reaching out.
Fantastic. Thank you.